And we're recording. I have to say legally that I am recording your image and your voice.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. What are you gonna do with it?
Okay. Hi, y'all. I'm Janene, and I am here with New York Times and USA Today best-selling author Tawny Weber. Hey, Tawny, thanks for being here.
Hi, Janine. Thanks for chatting with me.
Oh, it's always so much fun. Right off the bat, let's talk about what is over your shoulder, that gorgeous cover.
Isn't it yummy?
Is
I
yeah,
love this cover.
the cover is fantastic, and what's inside is even better.
Gosh.
We're talking about Tawny's newest release, A Seal's Temptation. This is Lark's and Shane's story. Now, tell us how you came up with their story.
Oh my gosh, I come up with stories in such different ways. I never seem to repeat the process. With Lark and Shane, it started with Shane because he had shown up in a couple of previous stories and he was so quiet and so behind the scenes mellow that I never even thought he was going to get his own story until suddenly he had to have one because he just jumped out in my head as, wow, this guy is awesome. And what I really wanted to answer with him was what makes a guy that is that quiet and that reserved do what he does and what pushes him to do the kind of things he does. And so that was really the question that came up. And to me it was the question of, family pressure was kind of, I don't know if there was something going on in my own life at the time that, triggered that or what it was, but it was family pressure became the idea for the story and everything just kind of blossomed off of that.
Now, the names of these characters, Lark and Shane, I love those. Of course, y'all know my hot husband is named Shane, so that's
I
pretty.
didn't know that when I made up the name. Just say.
And how did you pick out their names? I know Shane had come earlier, but how do you go about choosing character names?
Um, I get a feel for their personality. Lark was kind of coming from a hippie family. She had a very hippie name. Her mom, her aunt, they all kind of followed that theme. Um, I have a big book of baby names, and we become very good friends. I flip through it regularly and just bounce names back and forth. Does this work with this last name? Does this work as a couple? Do I have too many people with an L name in this story? I need to change it. Um, I'm really open to names when I'm first starting, but once they're named, I can't rename them because as soon as their character is who they are, that's it. It'd be like trying to rename my kids. I can't do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, Shane's call sign is Scavenger. How
Yes.
did he get that name?
He is just one of those guys who, because of his job on the SEAL team, he makes things happen. He is the man who can get anything and make anything happen that's necessary. He's the one that just kind of does the recon and pulls together everything that the team needs for any emergency type of a situation. Um, it was just one of those names that fit. Again, when he originally came into the story, which was he originally showed up in a SEAL secret, and at the time he was not his own character of going to have his own romance thing. So that's when he was named.
Now, Lark has come to town to run her late mother's coffee shop called the Magic Beans. Great
Yes,
name.
thank you.
And her Aunt Heather tries to perform a little bit of magic of her own. She bakes some goodies that are rumored to be aphrodisiacs. Now, what do you think about that? Do you believe in those?
Yes, absolutely. I believe in everything. I will say, when it comes to aphrodisiacs, I believe in the power of the mind. I believe that if someone tells me that this little piece of chocolate is going to be the answer to every dream I have, I'm willing to give it a chance and see what it does. But I will also say that chocolate hasn't done that for me, and I experiment
Uh-huh.
with it on a regular basis trying to find out.
Yeah.
But I also know that where naturally occurring aphrodisiacs may not have proved out through science. Science has provided some, so like I said, I'm open to anything. I believe in it all.
Now, I thought it was funny in the first of the book, Lark is not by training nor by nature a coffee house barista.
No.
Tell us a little about what she did before the coffee house.
Lark is an artist. She's a ceramic artist. She creates pottery. She creates art through clay, and she was very enmeshed in the San Francisco art scene. She loved being a part of that kind of avant-garde, colorful world that was who she was. It really was. But her mom had moved after years and years of moving all over the country, had settled into this small, darling town. It's made up, but it's very typical of Idaho, and had opened a coffee house. And, for Lark, that was, her contribution was to send her mother mugs. It's like, look, I made you another ceramic mug. It was, she didn't want to be in a small town. She wasn't, wanting to leave her world. But when her mom was diagnosed with cancer, she walked away from everything to be there for her mom.
Yeah, and so she said, I thought it was funny at the first of the book where Lark said, why can't anybody drink plain coffee anymore? She's trying to...
She said if she could pour from a pot. She has to look at all these recipes. She's like, what is this? The double foam, latte whip, caramel drip, blah, blah, blah. And she'd go nuts with it.
Yeah, I think that was our first hint that Lark is not a coffee house person. Yeah.
She's very much out of her element. Very much.
Now, one of the lines in the book says, when Lark's fingers were in the clay, she could forget everything else.
Yes.
So that was really so much of a part of her.
Yes.
That she was trying to put on the back burner. What do you do that makes time slip away?
To the element that she does would be something like meditation. Because for her it was a very meditative process. Sorry, I forgot to turn off my phone. For me, creatively, I read. I always get lost in books. Or I have, like crafty things. I do a lot of paper crafting, scrapbooking, card making, anything that can let me lose myself in the colors and textures, will give me that same kind of zen feeling.
Now, Lark had gotten in with some of the Seal Wives when she came to visit Shane, and she was talking to Alexia about the risk of loving a seal. And she had one of my favorite lines, and she said, look, living life is a risk itself, and you might as well be as happy as you can be while you're at it. What are you more a risk-averse person, or do you love a challenge?
That's a good question. One thing about that line is it very much brings the story back to Alexia's story. That was her whole issue, so that I loved being able to show her embracing that theme. But for me, I'd say I'm risk optional. There are things that I will risk anything for. I'll risk anything for love. I will do anything that if my heart tells me and my intuition tells me this is the right thing to do, I'm all there. I'll do it. If it's jumping out of a plane, no, not so much. If I can get that same thrill on a roller coaster, I'm staying a lot closer to the ground and it doesn't scare the bejesus out of me. So I will say, risk optional. It depends on what's at the end of that payoff.
Now, one theme that was over and over in A Seal's Temptation is obligation versus passion.
Yes.
And I think that's an important theme in most of our lives. And how do you in your life balance the two of those?
I work really hard to make sure that my obligations are things that I am passionate about. My career, I'm very passionate about and love so many elements of writing, of my writing career, of connecting with readers and what I do. So I can, that passion balances the obligation enough that it's not, there's pressure, but it's a doable pressure. My family, my children, my husband, my marriage, those are all things that are obligations in and of themselves, but they're ones that I love and I feel really, really good about. And there are things, there are obligations that I can't get behind. The obligation to clean house, no matter what I do, I cannot find passion for. I can't make it happen. So, I try.
Yeah. I have one last question for you. Tell us what makes you laugh.
Everything. Phone's ringing when they're not supposed to. My kids, sitcoms. I laugh so easily. I cry so easily. I'm just like this. Really easy to tap my emotions. But so many things do. They make me laugh. Reruns of Friends make me giggle every time. Chandler just kills me. My kids, silly jokes. Watching my niece be a total goofball. Every time I just giggle. So I laugh easy.
Now, tell our listeners and our watchers what's going on over at TawnyWeber.com in the next few days.
Oh my gosh, it's going to get crazy wild. Okay, so with the launch of A Seal's Temptation in digital, we have a reader contest that's going to be very, very fun, very easy. All you're basically doing is looking at gorgeous hunks and saying which one you like the best. That will launch on the 31st. On August 31st also will be the beginning of a blog tour with a really fun prize at the end. So I'll be hopping from blog to blog from August 31st to September 4th. So that'll be going on. And then on September 2nd, I have a really cool reader chat with Book Trib, which I'm so excited about. It's 4 p.m. Eastern time, so it's 1 p.m. Pacific time. And all the details are on my website, so it'll all be there. I'll be, over the next couple weeks, I'll be sharing all kinds of fun stuff about A Seal's Temptation. There's contests, there's recipes, there's excerpts, that cover, the cover is worth it right there. So I'll be doing a lot of fun stuff, I think.
And now you have a gift that you would like to give for your readers who sign up to your Red Hot Readers Club. Tell us about that.
Yes. Right now I am doing a giveaway, a free copy of a digital book, Rules of Engagement, and all they have to do is join my newsletter. So just by going to the website, they'll get the information on that. Well, going to the website and joining the newsletter, they get the information on that. Or go to TawnyWeber.com, and the newsletter sign up is right on the sidebar.
That's wonderful. So, and there's so many fun things that your Red Hot Readers Club get access to that is exclusive.
Very exclusive. They get exclusive access to all of the recipes. I have 30-some books, and every book has a recipe that goes with it. They get the first chapter excerpts of all of these books. They get Red Hot reader-only contests. They have insider information. They have a lot of, free reads. I post deleted chapters and different things like that, things that didn't make it into the book, or I wanted to write the ending this way, but I didn't get to, so here, you can read what I wanted to do. I have all of those in the Readers Club, and I mean, it's free, it's easy. All they do is join the newsletter, and they get access.
Yeah, and you're also on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest.
Yes.
The Seal's Temptation Pinterest board is especially fun.
I love it. I am a ceramics freak anyway. My aunt has a master's in ceramics. She makes the most amazing pieces of pottery that I love. And so finding that, seeing the different pictures, the different things that are on the Pinterest board that epitomize the gorgeousness that is pottery is just amazing. I love that board. Gotta come check it out. It's great.
Come check it out. But everything you need to know you can find at TawnyWeber.com. We'll put the link below the video, as always. And I would like to thank you, Tawny, for spending some time with us today. It's always a pleasure and an honor to talk to you.
Janene, I appreciate it very much. I'm very, very happy to chat with you. I'm thrilled to get this video out there and share with readers.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And thank you, video watchers, for joining us today, and we'll see you soon.